Hi, welcome back. So you have a GitHub, but you notice you're missing some of those green squares. Today in this video, I'm going to show you how to manually backdate your GitHub commits, as well as use a very basic Python script to help automate this. I mean, maybe you went on vacation or just life happens and you couldn't make that commit. And I get how important it is to have a bunch of GitHub commits, especially now when I'm filming this. This is in the fall, and this is a time where a lot of companies are hiring and doing a lot of hiring, so it's always best to try to have a very good impression for those recruiters, and sometimes they look at your GitHub commits, and that can be a make or break decision on if you move on to the next round. Alright, together let's make it look like you have coded every single day, even if you haven't. Shh, I won't judge you. Alright, let's get you going from this to this. So let's go straight to GitHub, and I made this public so everyone can have access to it, and you're going to need to fork this repo, but if you don't know how to do that, that is totally fine. This is very simple. I think you could easily get away with copy and pasting, and it really won't change anything. So, alright, so this is it. You want to use the link that's provided down below. Go to Backdate GitHub Squares, and we will get right into it. And then pick your very favorite IDE. I personally like VS Code, but it could be whatever. Okay, so if you ended up forking it, you should be able to see on GitHub Desktop if there's anything that you've changed. Obviously you haven't, and if I do fetch origin, as you can see, nothing's been changed. So what I need to do now is make a change. So this is I backdate GitHub Squares, and under the manual backdate folder, I have manual_backdate_file.py, and I'm just gonna type something random. I added something here. Honestly, you could put anything here. It could be literally anything at all. I just want to show that a change was made. So now if we go back into GitHub Desktop, as you can see, there is a change. And now this is what you need to do manually. So I'm on a Mac machine. If you're on Windows, you're going to use Command Prompt, but for Mac, it's going to be Terminal. Also, let's figure out the day that I want to backdate. So as you can see, I haven't really coded a lot, and today's the 14th. I did push something today, but it looks like previous day I haven't. Yeah, November 13th is empty, so let's see if we can fill that today. Okay, so if you are on Mac, you're going to use Terminal, and if you are on Windows, you're going to use Command Prompt. So what we need to do is we need to CD to where we have this saved. So I'm going to CD where I know I have this. Spelling does count. So CD, when I'm talking about CDing, you're using the command CD, which means, like, I think change directory. Correct me if I'm wrong. You want to go to GitHub, where I have it saved. I don't know where you have yours saved, so keep in mind your directory structure might be different, but we want to navigate to where it is. I called it backdate_GitHub Squares, and remember how I had a folder for the manual one? We have to make sure we're in that folder. So we're in here. We know that our Python is in the manual_backdate folder. So we need to do a git status. So as you can see, modified in red. So this is also picking up that we made a change and we haven't committed anything for it. It just shows that it was modified, which is correct. So now we need to do a git add. So since we're CD'd into where we need to be, we can just do git add, and then I think it's called manual, _backdate_file.py. So what we're doing is we're saying we want to add this, and now the next step is we need to commit. So git commit, have a date flag, and then we already know I want to go back one day. And then I'm going to say I changed something. So now that it's committed, you see that it says I changed something. And look at the date. It is, so today's date is November 14th. It went back a day, exactly how we expected. Now, don't forget to, I don't know if you saw it, but you have to have a space for the M or else it will not like it. So now we got to do a git push. So sometimes it might do this. I purposely showed this so that way if you're doing this for the first time, it's probably going to make you do this where you have to put in your username and password and do some authentication. So we're going to go through that together. So my bad, I forgot that GitHub, they want you to use a personal access token. So let's try that again. So git push, put my username in. And then it's not the password for your GitHub. You have to get a personal access token. So where do we go to get our personal access token? So you want to go to settings and then you got to look for developer settings and then personal access tokens. And we're going to go the classic route. Then you want to do generate new token. We're going to do classic. We're going to do it like for GitHub. I don't know, you can call it whatever the heck you want. Expiration. No expiration. I know it's not what we're supposed to do, but I think for this case, it's okay. Obviously, if you're working with sensitive information or whatever, reconsider, but I think it's totally fine to do it. And then there's really no big difference, I think. In our case, the newer stuff's like using the new system, but we should be fine. And then we're going to, give it all access to every. Okay, you have to copy it. If you don't, then it's just gone. So keep that in the back of your brain. Go back here, paste it in. Awesome, look at that. There we go. All right, look at that. We see our one contribution on November 13th. I think we can get a little deeper. Yeah, we can, I think. Yeah, look at that. Oh, I clicked too fast. Look at that. Shows that we did something yesterday, even though today is November. Okay, let's turn our attention now to our Python_auto_backdate folder, and in it you're going to see three things. So the most important one is this, backdate script .py. This is doing all the hard work. And then what I have here is auto backdate file, and then auto backdate underscore file underscore clean.py, just to kind of show you, like, if you're typing this or you're typing along, that you just want to create an auto underscore backdate underscore file.py, and it should look like this to start. And that way you can kind of just see the changes. I don't know if the clean one is going to help you or confuse you. Let me know. Okay, so like I said, these are the three that you need to be worried about. We can get rid of manual because we are moving on to automating this. So let me go through what it actually does. So I'm using Python. You should have Python installed on your machine, and you should have a Conda environment, and these need to be done. If you don't know how, please comment below, and I will happily run through how to make a Conda environment. But honestly, there's probably wonderful, and I mean, like, just they're all over the internet on how to do that, and I think as a prerequisite you should know how to do that. So you need to have import subprocess, and then from datetime import datetime and time delta, and OS, and import time. So I'm gonna break it down. I know if you're a little more advanced, you'd think this is a little silly, but I am breaking it down. This is for beginners, and I want to make it beginner friendly. So path of the file, we want to end up, like, the script is going to modify the auto underscore backdate underscore file.py. So the goal is this thing's gonna change without us actually doing anything. And then I have a path to the repo, which is, this is my path to it. obviously replace this with your path. Like, you don't have my machine, and you probably have it stored in different places. If you have questions about that, please let me know. And then we're gonna hard code. I want to do a start date. I don't need to go like back too far. So I know that I didn't have a commit like this whole week. So actually I'm gonna backdate it even more. Let's go to like the 10th. So if you look at my GitHub like right now, well, you saw it just a moment ago, there was nothing. It was just blank. So it's gonna start on the 10th, and then I'm gonna have the commit message say, Marcia, you can call this whatever you want. And then, yeah, I am not too happy with the comment that I'm doing, so let me do this real fast. So there we go. There we go. Sorry about that. I just, proper formatting. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is this function right here actually modifies the file. So I have a try except, and what it's going to do is that it's going to add $MCC, and the reason why you saw me just change it from a dash to a pound is because in Python, as you know, pound is a comment, and then if I did dash, it just, see how it goes red? It just looks crazy, so that's why I just opted out to not do that. So let's get back into it. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Okay, so what you need to know about this is that all it's doing is adding the comment MCC with the date, so date string, and then it's removing it. All right, and now the next one, it is going to do a git command. Basically, it's going to force it, is what is going to happen, and force the git commit. So remember what we were doing manually, it's now going to do that using Python. And lastly, it's going to loop through every day. So right now, it gets current date by using date times and now, and then it's going to start counting at 0 for the day counter, and then that's going to track whether to add or remove our MCC plus date comment. Actually, let me make this comment more nicer. Plus date string, and then we're using a while loop, and then this should look familiar. Remember how we did get status, get add, get commit? It's doing that all for us, kind of automated. And then also I have a try except for get pushing and forcing it, just in case we run into that. And then I have a delay between commits, so it's not just spamming the heck out of GitHub. So why don't we go on ahead and give this a try? I'm going to push my commits today. So updated. Let's give that a shot. Okay. All right, I have decided I'm gonna run this through my terminal since we've been using it, and also it's just good. This is another way you can run Python if you're not gonna use VS Code or your favorite IDE. And sometimes VS Code is just mean and it doesn't work the way you want it to, so this is just a surefire way of making sure, like, is it the code versus is it my IDE? So I have to activate my environment. I think it's called this. Awesome, okay. And then make sure you are CD'd to where you want to be. So ls. Okay, I want to definitely use backdate underscore script because, like I said, that's the one that's doing all the work. So we're going to call Python and then call your script name and then hit enter. Look at that go. Look at that. Oh, this is so nice. All right, and we're almost to today. Today's November 14th, and look at that, we made it. Let's see if it worked. Oh, mouse got away on me. Okay, so this is my old GitHub. As you can see, kind of nothing. Look at that, got a bunch of green squares. Awesome. Okay, so as you can see, I have a lot of spaces. So let's see if I can fill up this whole thing with green squares without doing it manually. So let's change our date. So I have the date here. Let's go all the way to the very beginning of the year. Let's do that. 1-1. All right, give it a shot. All right, looks like she's going. I won't bore you here, and I will just show you when it's done. Okay, we're kind of getting into the home stretch. Yeah, let's just see where it's at. So I think I've had this on for about 10 to 15-ish minutes, which I kind of expected to happen. All right, we're almost to the end. We've got a couple more days left. All right. Almost there. All right, and I think we finally made it. Awesome. We are all set. As you can see, it's done. We got our repo back. Now let's see how we did. So this is before. Scroll it up. Before, right? Let's see how we did. Oh, look at that. Awesome. Oh, it looks like I missed a day. No reason for that. That's odd. But good news is we know how to manually backdate. So let's start April 17th. Still pretty good. Let's give that a shot. Run it again. Alright, and then I'm gonna Control C to stop it. No big deal. Let's see how, nope, wrong one. Let's see how that worked out for us. Awesome, okay, that cleared it up. Cool. Alright. So, is there an ethical concern? This is going to be my response to if this is an ethical violation. I think what we have going on here is more of a hate the player, hate the game type of situation. I don't think like late stage interview, like when you're at the very final end, it's going to matter if you had all your GitHub squares full for the year or if you didn't. I really don't think it's that deep. Usually when you're in front of an important person, like a hiring manager, they're going to know by that time through a technical interview or behavioral interview if you're going to be a good fit for the company or not. So I don't think this is an ethical concern, and I also think this is just fun. It's for fun. It's also a great way to make art with your GitHub squares. I feel like you can make a cool pattern out of it. I'm even thinking of writing my name through it. I think that'd just be cool and fun. But no, I think at the end of the day, this is all in good fun, but also makes it look good for like the non-technical recruiters that are looking. A lot of the times that first person that reaches out to you, they don't understand tech, and they might think it's pretty impressive that you've coded every day. So yeah, so that's my take on the ethics concern. But I just thought it was fun, and when I first started to learn Python, because it wasn't my first language, this was like one of the first things I ever made for myself, was just manually like backdating GitHub commits, and I don't know, I just really enjoyed it. It made me fall in love with the language of Python, and I think it also like steered me away from being a web developer. Like I still love doing web development and I still do it, but it opened up a whole new world for me, and I really love Python. I really enjoy it. I've used it to automate so many things and help so many people save so many hours and so much time, and at the end of the day, time is money. So thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you learned something and you enjoyed this as much as I did. Thank you. Bye now. Catch you in the next one.